Yo, what up, everybody? I'm starting something new. I'm gonna be doing daily vlogs or attempt to do daily vlogs. Vlog is a video log, so it's like a video journal. And excuse anyone who's listening on the podcast. I'm gonna be rolling out my I'm gonna be multitasking, rolling out my legs. Just hiked 11 miles today, so yeah, hope you enjoy this and appreciate you listening to this. So, today I wanted to talk about like some of the things I've been learning recently. So, I had this, I've been thinking about the concept of parenting and if I'm going to be tough, tough love on my kids and kind of spoil them, which I think most parents want to spoil their kids, or would I want them to like work really hard and kind of help them build grit and resilience. I guess technically you can have both where you're showing them lots of love, but you also want them to do well. So that's been interesting concept for me. Um, been chatting with my therapist and I realized how like judgmental I have been of and jealous really of my fiance's family because they show a lot of love and they have a lot more stability and a much different environment than how I grew up. Um, but yeah, so that's been a really big realization for me. Just reflecting on this year so far, I'm very grateful that I'm doing really well at work. I actually there's a potential that I could even make President's Club, which is the reserved for the top 10% of sales folks. So I never really have thought that to be a possibility, but for some reason this year I actually see that as a possibility, which is pretty amazing. Considering like how I grew up and how I came from. Um, I guess like your typical rags to riches story where didn't have a lot of stability growing up with my dad leaving us at a young age. But I was reflecting, and it was cool. I caught up with a friend who he was my best friend in elementary school, and yeah, it's this time alone has been interesting, right? The time to kind of reflect. I think COVID has made all of us really kind of just see, hey, like actually, like work isn't the only thing in our lives. Like there's family, there's time for hobbies now. I've been reading a lot, been reading some amazing books. Check out my blog, davidsonhang.com. Um, and yeah, it's been interesting. This year I have really like doubled down on making a lot of content on my YouTube channel, on my podcast, and my blog. And those three things has helped me a lot. Not only be able to connect with people, but just have a place to process my feelings and my emotions and my thoughts. So, thank you for giving me the space to be able to do that. And the reason why I want to do more of a consistent vlog is because I think a lot of people you tend to attract like similar energies, people that are going through the same thing. So I know for me, like I've suffered with a lot of imposter syndrome, and you know, getting into a company like LinkedIn like was so eye opening for me that as long as you have one person believe in you, so thank you, Garrett. Like anything is possible, and I've been thinking about this concept a lot. Excuse all the stuff behind me. I'm in my fiance's parents' basement, so we're in the middle of moving into our house. We just bought a house in North Brunswick. That's not the construct. It's not done construction yet, but it'll be done on Christmas Eve. And oh, for those of you who don't know, I'm also getting married this month. So a lot of stuff going on this year, and yeah, I think many of us can look at this year as like a wash, like not a great year in terms of like not being able to travel and stuff. But I really think it's what you make of it, like you can create this beautiful life and be able to do whatever you want. And, given there's a lot of like racial tensions and there's so much political divide right now. I think it's interesting to listen to different perspectives and to hear a different story. I think Facebook isn't good because you get to pick and choose like the people you want to listen to, so you can hide the newsfeed of the people that don't resonate with you. But I think a lot of times those are probably the people that we should listen to like not listen to, but at least try to hear them out, so that we can have more compassion for each other. So yeah, let me know what if there's something that you have thought of recently that you didn't think that you would be able to understand. For instance, I've always had this story about like white privilege and how like white people are so lucky they don't have to go through as much like adversity. And I realized like wow, like that really was preventing me from being able to connect with so many of my colleagues. I mean, if you think about it, like how much of corporate America is white, right? So think about how that clearly didn't serve me in my career. And there's been so many amazing Caucasian mentors of mine that have really helped me out in life. John Littler, Mike Ragone, even my manager KP. There's so many amazing people, and to be able to make assumptions of others like that is it's not very serving. um so yeah. And one other thing that I think has been interesting for me is I typically really like group classes. Like I enjoy doing things in groups, so I always had excuses to why I wouldn't be able to like work out, because I'm like, oh well, the gym is closed or my CrossFit gym is closed. But because of COVID, because of group classes were closed, I ended up just start doing my own workouts, just looking up on YouTube. So now I'm like, wow, I saved so much money just looking up YouTubers and just doing workouts there. Started my own workout group where we work out every morning at 8 a.m. So hit me up if you're interested. And then just being able to do things, and like for instance, like I stretch every day. Um, so I feel like have added so many healthy habits into my life since this whole COVID thing happened. So I subtracted some things in my life, right? But I've been able to add so many more beautiful things onto my life as well. So yeah, it's been a truly a beautiful um, journey. And yeah, I'm grateful for you listening. And this is part one of the daily vlogs. Love to hear what your thoughts are, and hope you all have a great day.